Hi guys, in this video we're going to talk about granular zero trust GenAI controls. The example I'm going to use is you have a finance team, a group within your organization that you want to control access to generative AI tools like ChatGPT or Gemini. You want to ensure that that group who's got a lot of access to sensitive data gets inspected and blocked if they're sharing sensitive data to tools, but any other data so they can be productive is allowed. So let's walk through how we can build a zero trust rule accessing GenAI tools within Cato. All right, let's get started here. So first and foremost, let's go to the Cato CMA. I'm going to go to security, and I'm going to go to data types and profiles, and I'm going to build a new data type here, a new data type and profile. I've named my finance group for GenAI controls. Let me show you what it looks like. So you name it here, you can add a description, and then we can go in, you can do data types. So you can add these when you first build this out, and I've chosen a bunch of these that make sense for my organization. When you go through, you can choose the ones that make the most sense. There's any number of them for bank controls, employee identification numbers, driver's licenses, bank routing numbers, credit cards. There's stuff from all over the world of different databases of data that we can look for with our DLP and data profile inline engine. You can then also have custom ones built if you want as well, if you're looking for particular types of data. Check the box for OCR scanning enabled if you want to look for screenshots as well, which I highly recommend. Tons of people are using generative AI tools with screenshots because it's so good at taking that. And you want to block screenshots with proprietary data to mitigate your risk, especially from teams that have access to sensitive data. Okay, so once you have that content profile built, we're going to go over to App and Data Inline. I have my rule book here. Let me show you what it looks like. Finance group details. Here's what finance group GenAI controls, excuse me. I'm going to put it rule 1 for testing. And then the application, you're going to pick application categories. In this case, I'm going to say generative AI tools. Activities, I want to stop when the finance team does an upload. And then the DLP profile, this is when you select the finance group GenAI controls, that profile that you just built. And then I'm going to go down to source, and I'm going to say source is a user group. And then I'm going to add my finance group. I'm going to show you how to build that group if you don't know how. And then under actions, I'm going to select blocked, send a notification, and you can choose to either send it to an integration like Slack or Teams, or send a mail out, or not send a notification and just update the dashboards. It's up to you. Okay, so now that I have my data profile built and my cloud app rule for my app and data inline, let's now go ensure that I have that access user group built. So I'm going to go over to access. And then I'm going to go up to user groups. And then I can see here's my finance group. So you can click a new one here if you want. So I have my finance group here. And then all I can do, I can just add a member here. I've already added Cato Lab. So you can build those directly and manually. You can use skim provisioning to do those. So that way you have groups that you can apply zero trust principles to, like everyone in finance. You can bring those in from Microsoft Azure AD, Intra ID, and then use those groups to then apply app and data inline rules. So now we have this zero trust rule with data types and profiles for finance groups accessing any and uploading any secure data into generative AI tools. Let's put it to the test now. Okay, so now I'm going to log into my test VM here. This is a Windows desktop of one of your financial users here. Here's that user. It's got the Cato client on. You can have always on to make sure that anytime that person's working, they have to be accessing secure internet through Cato. And then they're logging into ChatGPT and they're uploading different screenshots. First and foremost, let me show you sample data XLS here. Try to upload it. It's going to block, right? And then I'm going to show you a DLP test of like driver's license and credit cards from different states. And it's going to block. And then I say like, oh, I'm going to take a screenshot of that same one. So here's the screenshot of the same thing. It's going to think, and then it's going to block. Okay. So just to give you an example of what that data looks like, I'll show you. So here's the sample data. So you can see there's names, credit cards. And then here's the other sample data that I was showing you just to make sure that it's all legit. So here's full names, credit cards. This is a sample data you get from DLP test, but it's got sample driver's license, credit cards. So we're blocking that data in real time with our rule. So let's go back out to our CMA to see what it says. So if I go to security, GenAI apps, let me go out to like the last hour because that's when we've been doing this. And then I can see I've got 7 blocks. Here's the applications that are being used. Here's that user that's associated with the finance group. And here's that data profile built. So finance group GenAI controls. So now I have specific details around the data profile for my finance group. So I know that they've been the one violating my data profile. So then I can go and see what are the users. There's the users that are leveraging it. So now I've got this zero trust view of access into GenAI. Cato Labs is the user. The finance group GenAI controls is what's been violated. I want more details on that. That's great. We can hit these and hit view events. Now we're into the granular level of detail of the actual events of those transactions. So now I can open this up. I can see it blocked it. I can see the app type. I can see the device name and all the other information. And this way I can see it's an image. So that's the screenshot blocked. If we open the next one, let's see the type of device it was, or type of file that was sent back and forth. So you can see here's the DLP profile, GenAI, and you can see here's Microsoft Office document. So someone tried to upload a document, in this case a spreadsheet, that had personally identifiable information, and we blocked it. All right, guys, so in summary, we showed you how to build a data profile that matches a zero trust principle. In this case, I said finance group accessing GenAI controls. Grab the data profiles that are associated with that. You can build your own here. I went to App Data Inline and I built a rule for finance group GenAI controls and added that actual data profile here, finance group GenAI controls, and I blocked it. I then went out and tested that rule within my VM to ensure it's working. And then finally, if you need some help on accessing, you can go to Access and look at user groups to see the actual user groups associated with building the zero trust rule. In this case, I chose the finance group. All right, guys, have fun messing with this. It's very powerful. Everyone's using GenAI, and this allows you to ensure that you have a surgical approach about blocking sensitive data, but not stopping people from getting the production value of generative AI tools. Thanks so much, guys. I hope this is helpful.